So I want to introduce to you what we call the closer model. Actually, it wasn't named that back then. I was still putting an acronym to it. But the closers model, in fact, we added an S on the end recently. But C is campaign, L is list and leads, O is offers, S is skill. Now there's that skill element, you remember? If I had just focused on skill, we would have had a 20 to 25% increase. But by focusing on benchmarks and more work and leverage, we got a 5x. E is effort. R is reporting or results. And S is systems. This is the new thing we've added recently. And right about the time of Tom, we added the C because I realized that loser was not a good acronym for sale. Glad we figured that one out. But what this basically is a 7-ingredient menu for the elements that make up a strong inside sales campaign. I can't seem to get any less and be effective, and we haven't needed a lot more, so we keep coming back to this. This is the heart of our consulting model. And it starts making sense. So the very first thing that we did was benchmark. On the closers model, where does benchmarking fit in? Where does counting the numbers? Reports, right here. So we benchmark, well, the first thing is we got them on the dialer. That's a system. We benchmark their reports. Then we had to move from 20 to 170 calls a day. Where's that? Effort. So by focusing on the bottom end of the closers model, which, by the way, this is pretty much sales operations. Sales ops does this. Now they do a few more things like compensation, which when I consult is always the first place I go. Are they aligned in their pay plan with what they're being asked to do? And then they have territory management. But that's pretty much it. That's what sales ops does. Now remember, what they wanted us to do here was skill, and that's what sales training does. And time again, when I go out to an organization and they have a sales training group consulting with them, I said, okay, what's the real net increase in productivity that you got by spending this money? It almost always comes in at 20 to 25%. But they're all fairly similar. There's a few outliers that come along, like the Challenger sale that completely changes things. But that's really where the skill, now the skill is not just what you say, it's also, in our world, what you do, what you write. With email capability, the skill now is just as much how well we write an email as it is what we say over the phone. With immediate response, is what we do. Do we respond quickly and persistently? So skill has lots of elements. It's what the human being does to change the equation. But what we did here to change this equation, because we tested all different kinds of levels of effort. We went as high as 350 calls a day per rep, which freaked everybody else out because they weren't getting that in a couple of weeks. But the numbers didn't go up. In fact, 170 was right about the sweet spot at the time. So we ended up staying there. But by working on some of these other elements up here, we got them to 6.5 leads a day. Now that's a 13x improvement. But can you see the effort didn't change anymore at all? So we went from working hard to working smart.